Hey everyone, just want to let you know that we let the GM go and we hired a new person for the position and they're starting Monday. Ah, Christ. Now I gotta train another newbie. When you manage your managers, you've stayed too long. What can I get you? Drunk? Welcome to episode 48 of Behind Bars, Cocktails, and Wasted Nights. I'm your host, Greg. I've been working as a bartender for over 20 years, and over those years, I've seen a lot. My goal here is to share some of those high and low lights with you. Quick warning, this podcast contains sex, drugs, and some language that isn't suitable for anyone under 21 years of age, so you gotta have some ID. Folks, you're in for a treat on this one. Mercury was in retrograde and the supermoon's gravitational pull conspired with some Halley's Comet dust, and somehow, some way, my creative writing soulmate partner and co-best man in the wedding I'll never have came to visit me in Denver. We laughed, we cried, we threw up. On a strict jacuzzi, boomer, and seltzer diet, we decided we'd confirm, deny, and rank shit. Matt is not only a true friend of the highest order, he's also a fucking genius. He's the kind of guy who'd be in a think tank if he had the wherewithal to actually work a 9 to 5, but a brain like that can't hang in such a construct. Enough about him. This is my podcast. So, before we get started, you'll need a drink. I wanted you all to get literary, as Matt, like me, is a writer, so I chose the Hemingway. It's an easy take on the standard daiquiri. First, chill a Cooper martini glass with ice water and chill. In a shaker tin, pour a half ounce of grapefruit juice, but be careful as grapefruit interferes with certain medications. 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, a half ounce of maraschino liqueur, go with Luxardo if you can, 1/4 ounce of simple syrup, and 2 ounces of white rum. Then shake, 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 shake it like a rattlesnake. Dump your ice water bath and strain the boozy goodness into your coupe. Garnish with a lime wheel, or if you're feeling like the sun also rises, go with a grapefruit wedge and enjoy. And as always, if you don't have any of that shit lying around, gulp a shot of tequila and sniff some sniz into the soul holes. It's important to alternate sides. Okay, without further ado, here's Matt. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 48 of Cocktails and Wasted Nights. I'm Greg and I'm here with my best friend, my creative writing soulmate, all the way from LA, Santa Monica specifically, Matt. Matt, what's up?
I'm just wondering if we're going to have a safety word for this discussion, so in case people need to save me from the inner sanctum.
Oh yeah, it's marshmallow.
Oh great, okay, cool. Good.
So Matt, did you enjoy the pregame, the process before we interview?
We had a good stretch. The hammies are good. The quads are sort of shredded.
We shook out the junk.
Yeah, we got all the toxins out.
Yeah. And we watched a little, to prepare, we watched a little R. Kelly Trapped in a Closet to be prepared to be trapped in a closet.
Yeah, so, in an unrelated tangent.
Already?
For anyone that has, a special shout out to anyone that has been trapped in the closet with Greg here in the Inner Sanctum. Therapy's on me.
It's the studio. So anyway, Matt, you came all the way in from LA to do this. I'm really happy because I didn't want to do a phone interview with you. I wanted the sound quality to be on point. And how are you liking Colorado so far?
Blue skies, Barthy burgers, girls.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It's the power center, man.
It's the power center. Mountains are a power center. Yeah,
Front range.
Front range, baby. We go to the Western Slope, but that's going to take way too long. It's like LA to Vegas to get to Aspen.
I went to a rodeo the last couple nights, but that's confidential information.
Was it your first rodeo?
No.
I can go to a rodeo anytime because it looks like I'm wearing hair chaps thanks to my manscaping. Pasty and hairy, baby. All right. No clear line of demarcation.
English and Italian, let me tell you.
Yeah, I got all the good genes.
There we go.
All right, so you've heard the podcast. You know what we like to get into. We like to get into the stories, and we can start off simple because, we were roommates for 6 years, 2000 to 2006, in Hollywood.
And we survived.
Yeah, and prior to that, we were classmates at Emerson.
This is correct.
For 3 years, so I've known you since 1997.
Known me to never do any actual classwork.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, ever.
Why go to Introduction to Western History if you already know it all?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you were always a book reader. I remember one night I was coming back from a magic show at the Magic Castle in Hollywood with a certain blonde server who was not my girlfriend. And through the course of the night, I had her go into the bathroom to remove her thong and give it to me. And then she demanded I remove my boxer briefs and give it to her.
Okay.
So we came home, and I had her take off her dress entirely, and we walked down the hall from the elevator to the apartment.
I remember this.
Yeah. And I opened the door, and I'm with her butt naked.
Yes.
And you were sitting in your chair reading a World War II book in the recliner. You taking this sight of me hammered with this naked girl.
Yes. Typical Tuesday.
And then instead of like covering the girl, I remember taking my blazer and I went and threw it on your head. That was my way of protecting.
Of course.
Yeah. I had to defend her integrity. And
the names have been changed to protect the guilty.
Oh, we're not even saying names, but yeah,
no.
that was a hilarious night. Like, what was going through your mind then?
That I wanted to get back to my book.
But I had this blazer on my head so I couldn't read.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It was probably volume 3 or 4 of the Winston Churchill series of the Second World War that I stole from the Emerson Library in Burbank.
That's amazing.
I was like, no one is ever going to read these, so I'm stealing them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I paid my tuition.
Yeah. You get a book out of it.
6.
Yeah, good.
It's a series. He would narrate them to his secretary in the bathtub. He'd be like drinking martinis, soaping himself up, and be like, and then when we were in North Africa.
Don't let the black dog get me. The Gathering Storm, such a good movie. So yeah, you saw a lot of stuff. We did a lot of things. Like I've talked about them on the podcast. Some people think we're lying, but yeah, we went to the Viper Room. We saw Steel Panther back when they were a metal shop. I mean,
Church on Monday.
Disneyland on Molly, on ecstasy back then. Pressy pills.
That was interesting.
Do you remember 9/11?
Oh yeah.
It was the night after we went to Disney and we were on ecstasy, and I was in my room with, what was her name?
Jamila?
No, Megan. We're changing names.
I thought we weren't supposed to say names.
We're not gonna say names.
Wasn't it Jamila?
No,
and
it was the blonde girl.
Crazy?
No, she was the host, the karaoke host.
I lost track of your.
All right, but anyway,
conquests.
We were high as fuck. It was like 8:30 in the morning, and you're like banging on my door.
Yes,
and I was like having sex. And you're like, Greg, we're under attack.
No one was there.
It was the girl. She was in there. And you're like, Greg, wake up, we're under attack. And I came out with like my eyes looking like drink coasters.
Right.
And do you remember what I said when I looked at the TV in the World Trade Center?
No.
I said, we did this to ourselves. And then I went back into my room.
Right. And I was alternating back and forth between the television and then so your bedroom window faced the Hotel Roosevelt.
Yes.
On Hollywood Boulevard.
Yes.
My bedroom window looked out on Hollywood High School and downtown LA.
Yes.
So I was bouncing back and forth between the TV and like downtown LA thinking, is the shit gonna hit the fan there?
Right, the next target.
And the internet wasn't working. It was like we were trying to reload pages on your Mac, and like the internet wasn't working because everyone was panicking and checking shit.
Yeah.
That was a day.
Yeah, we spent that day together.
Jesus.
Yeah, we had some times when we had some crazy meetings with crazy people, like we were pitching scripts and stuff like that. Disney, remember Disney?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
When I was like, I'm sorry, I thought this building was being held up by 7 dwarves. What do you mean our script skews too young? Oh, this meeting's over. Okay,
yes.
Again.
Yes.
But you were always the one to just be like, just give us money.
Well, you have to ask.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to
ask for the sale.
Yeah, I know. You were right. You were right. They should have given us money. Like, what's your favorite script of ours?
Oh, well, always have a special place in my heart for The Big Fallacy because that's how we got started.
Yeah.
You would be writing after work. I'd be cooking and cleaning the kitchen. You'd be like, what about this? And I'd be like, that's great. What about this? You'd be like, that's great. Let's do this. And then about 6 weeks after, you were like, I think we're doing this. And I was like, yeah, I think we're doing this.
Yeah, and we just became writing partners.
Yeah, just
and it was
completely
awesome.
Organically.
And then we worked. Like a lot of people, like they go to Starbucks to be seen writing, but we worked. We put in the time, 10 to 3 every day.
We were scheduled. We were represented. We made money. We ghost wrote. We made money. We wrote for sketch troupe.
Yep.
We were in the shit.
Yeah, we got paid for Sophie and the Dream Bandits.
We got paid.
Yeah, it was good.
I used my middle school German to negotiate with. I had to call at 1 a.m. California time to get the accounting office in like Frankfurt at 8 a.m. It's just, oh, good morning. I'm like,
Guten Abend, or Guten Morgen.
Wie geht's? Die Sonne scheint, es ist ein schöner Tag. Can I please have our money now?
It's like your phrase.
The sun shines, it's beautiful. Or, wie ist das Wetter heute? What is the weather like today? Oh, in California, the sun shines, it's a beautiful day. Oh, it's not here, it's gray.
I remember in that meeting when we met Sven, he's like telling us about the project, and I was like, wait, so the Germans need help with humor? He's like, oh, okay, very funny. Yeah, you guys are hired.
That reminds me of that Robin Williams joke where he was like talking to some Germans once, and they were like, why aren't we funny? And he's like, have you considered that maybe because you killed all the funny people? He's in like a room full of, like, he's like at a banquet, like he's like paid to do a conference comedy show in like Germany, and they're like, why aren't we funny?
Because you killed all the funny people.
And for the folks listening at home, forgive me, all of my accents are kind of like a bizarre Turkish. I have to sort of dial in to get colloquial, but like all of my generic accents are like, why are you not giving me money for my work?
That's like my my Armenian accent from working in Glendale. It's like home of the second largest population of Armenians outside of Armenia.
Correct.
And so they would come in, and it's like always like, my friend, bro, listen, I have a 1996 Honda Accord, 400,000 miles. It's a very good car. At 40 miles, it starts to shaking, but it's friggin' wonder car. You're not going to believe. I give you very good price. Always trying to sell you.
Well, you know, it's a hustle.
It is.
Did I ever tell you about the time that so speaking of, you know, the Armenian population of Glendale?
Yes.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I had jury duty with Judge Lance Ito?
No.
I never told you this?
No, let's go.
And all the
Tell these people this.
Really? In all the fucking years we've known each other, I never told you about how... So, I'm on jury duty, and, you know, you're going through the motions, and, like, you're in the waiting room, and I'm just reading.
Yep.
Just calm.
World War II.
I'm here. I'm reading. There's, like, the zombies walking through, like, where's the outlet? Charge my phone. Like, you didn't charge before you came to jury duty.
You're not an adult.
You knew you were going to be here for 8 hours.
Oh.
Where's the outlet? I'm like covering the outlet with my leg in the seat under me. Like, don't come near me. So I get into the first jury pool, and I get taken into the room, and it's like, it's fucking Judge Lance Ito
from O.J. Simpson trial.
And I'm like, okay, this is some celebrity here. I'll hang for a minute. And I'm in the, you know, so like the jury room, right? You got the bench with the judge. You got the defendant,
plaintiff,
you know, the prosecuting attorney. You got the jury pool in the sort of around, and then you've got the jury panel.
Okay.
So I'm in the pool, and there's all your typical LA stuff where, like, you know, this bitch named Ashley gets called, and she's like,
Leigh.
Yeah, she's like, well, like, I'd really love to serve, but, like, I'm managing this band that's, like, going on tour next week. And he's like, you can stay.
I just wanted everybody to know I'm managing a band.
Yeah. And there's another guy, he's like, I really can't do this because, like, I have a landscape design company, and, like, we have a lot of jobs. He's like, do you have other employees for your company? And he's like, yeah, 3. He's like, maybe this is a good time to delegate. So he's just like cold calculating, like not taking no for an answer.
Seen it before.
So I get into the panel. I get from the pool to the panel. And so the guy who's the defendant is this complete fucking Goomba. He's like hairy knuckles,
pinky ring,
hairy neck, like just fucking, he look like, and so the defense attorney is just sort of like, you know, this slick older man, slick. He's just sort of like, all right, juror 12. Is there any reason why you couldn't serve on this jury? And these are like, it's like all shapes and sizes, right? A jury pool is like literally,
it's a carnival sideshow.
Everyone. And so there's this kid who's maybe like 20, and he's just like, I went to Glendale High School, and I was bullied every fucking day of my life, and I fucking hate Armenians. And he's like, okay. And then when it came time for the next selection, he's like, juror 12, you can go.
Bye.
And then there was this other woman. On the pool that had survived like 3 rounds of cuts. And
she wants to be on the jury.
oh, she wanted to be on the jury, but when it no. Actually, you know what? She didn't, but she just wasn't asked the questions yet. She was like sitting there wanting to be asked the questions.
Yeah. Ask me what's going to get me
Like,
out of here.
and so the defense attorney was like, okay, so is there any reason why you feel like you couldn't have a fair, objective attitude in the proceedings? She's like, well, look at him. He looks like a criminal. What, you just got him a suit so he didn't look like a complete scumbag? And he's like, ma'am, he's merely dressing to present himself to the court in a respectful way. And may I remind you, innocent until proven guilty. And it's my job to negotiate that on his behalf.
Oh my God.
A couple rounds later, he let her simmer for a while, and then he's like, Ito's like, anyone for this round? He's like, juror 9. You can go. She's like, bye.
Yeah, thanks for keeping me longer. Oh,
yeah, and I got cut for some stupid reason. I don't even know.
I can't imagine.
Probably because I was too smart.
Because you're always speaking your mind. It's pretty great.
Yeah, it was
I'm worried about you though. Sometimes you're gonna speak your mind to the wrong person one day.
Well, I mean, when you're wanting to get out of jury duty in an honest way,
yeah,
and it's just like,
well, that's fine.
yeah.
I'm talking about like when you just approach someone on the street and then you offer your opinion.
Well, I try to moderate that.
Yeah, I know. You're working on it.
I don't open with it.
No. But you do. You're very assertive with strangers. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of one of my skill sets. But I think what it was when I think the prosecutor actually asked me to leave because when she was asking me about the crime, which is I think he was arrested for bumping off like a shoe store.
Okay.
Like after hours. Robbed a shoe store.
What's in there?
But I was just saying,
There's no cat.
when she was asking me about like what I felt about the crime, I was like, well, if I was going to go down, I'd go for a higher value target.
Yes.
Like at least have a good time before you get arrested.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like what do you get from a shoe store? $1,500?
Yeah, and if you get that,
I'm like, take down a pawn shop.
He's Armenian. He probably wanted the shoes.
He's like, he got caught because he stayed for the loafers.
Yeah,
he's like trying on the loafers.
But Judge Ito, they were Bruno Mali's.
Yes. He had the $1,500 in his pocket, and he's like trying on shoes. He's like, I'm really a 9.5, not a 9.
Yeah.
And then the cops pulled up.
My right foot's bigger than my left.
That's just how I was born. So that's my Judge Lance Ito jury duty story.
That's pretty rad, dude. So we lived together.
Hollywood.
You started dating. Who is your now wife?
Yes.
And through that process, I got to tell you, I don't know if you know this story, but when you decided it was time to propose, it was like my 30th birthday.
Yeah, because you're 3.5 years older than me.
Yeah.
Even though we were in the same class.
Yeah, I took a little break after high school.
You were not born with a silver spoon.
No, I
had to like landscape and actually make money on like other people.
Yeah, and pay my way through college.
You had to actually like earn your own money.
Yeah, exactly. I had to work.
Imagine that.
Yeah, what a concept.
Weird.
Yeah, so it took me a while, but still paying for it, by the way. Actually, I'm not paying for it anymore. Let's be honest. I'm just like, whatever. Yeah, you can't take the knowledge back. You can't repossess the knowledge.
That's right.
So, so the weekend that you took her up to propose, that was the weekend I had the dirty 30.
Oh.
With the enemy.
Oh.
And the server who was going to get fired.
Oh. Well, she was on her way out anyway.
Yeah. So that's like how I would target. I'm like, okay, either you're going to get canned or quit, so then I'll move in now so it's not awkward later at work. Yeah. And it was just so funny because I'm having like what should have been the happiest moment of my life. Like the enemy is like banging this girl with like a strap on while I'm in her mouth and they got strobe lights going in our apartment. And I thought two things.
Number one,
I looked across and at my girlfriend. I was like, "This can't be the mother of my children. I can't have her kissing our kids."
Okay,
you know,
not knowing where her mouth has been.
Yeah, well, knowing where her mouth has been, especially. And then I thought, Matt is proposing to his wife right now. Like, what a stick of ivory soap up in wine country. And this is what I'm doing with Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is what I'm doing with my free time. It's like we have so much in common, but then on some levels we're so opposite. You know what I mean? And like you dealt with me, like judgment free. You just like dealt with me.
I just made a face that was like, yeah, as opposed to saying it out loud.
Yeah. This is an audio podcast.
Yeah, it was just like the judgment free.
Yeah,
judgment free zone.
Yeah, but we had a great time. I feel like I showed you a whole new world.
And my brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Andy was instrumental in your bachelor party. This is the guy that we did the anal ring toss girls for the night before his wedding.
Yes.
So we're all in church with these videos in our heads, just replaying.
Yes. From the night before, where Andy was all in.
All in.
How much money do you need?
Yeah. I'm like, this is what I got going on.
Great idea. Go.
He's like, dude, we have to do this. How much do you need? It was the best.
Yeah, Andy came and visited like what, 3 times?
Yeah, and we corrupted him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Corrupted him.
Yeah,
we'd be zipped up on Vikes and Perks and stuff, playing Gauntlet until 3 a.m. Nestea.
Yeah.
Vikes, like another round. Yeah. Chewing our faces off.
Oh yeah, scratching our shin skin away.
We're on level 17. We can get to 18.
I don't think I'm going to be able to poop for another week.
We can get to level 20 by dawn. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Nerds.
The levels would always take too long to load.
Oh God.
It's like, how long does this take to load?
Yeah, what the fuck?
We just want to keep playing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were doing a Scorched Earth 3-way.
Yeah.
While I was proposing.
Yeah, I'm just bringing up sort of like the differences, you know what I mean? Like, about how we still we were like creative fucking soulmates. Absolutely.
I mean, apples and oranges are still fruit.
Yeah. Like you were working overnight at KNX News Radio. Oh. You had a great story from there, right? On the television bank.
Oh, I'll tell that later.
Oh, you don't want to tell it now?
That's a little dirty birdie story for later.
Oh, let's tell it now.
But I want to tell it'll be interesting to see, because I've only shared this with like half a dozen people in 20 years, but it'd be interesting to see what your audience thinks of this. So I was working at KNX 1070, which was an AM news radio station in the CBS building on Sunset.
Yes.
Right? So that was the lower level. The upper level was what was Aero 93.
Okay. The classic rock?
Classic rock of LA at the time. So
get the lid out.
Here we go.
Double Shot Tuesday.
Creedence.
I'll take the 8th caller for those journey tickets.
There we go. So it was that.
Yeah.
So there was an engineer. I don't remember his name. Let's just call him Roger.
Okay,
I think it was Roger. And I was working in the recording studio of the news radio station. And he would always come and hang out. Like, I was there from 3 to 11. Brutal hours. And he would come in like 9 to 5 because he worked for both stations.
KNX and Arrow.
Yeah, he did AM and FM. And he would come in like around 9, so I'd have like that last hour or two with him. And he'd just come in and we'd shoot the shit and how was your day? What are you doing? And Aero 93 was playing in the background on the playback in the news radio station. And the Doors song, was it Touch Me or Light My Fire? Touch Me or something. But long story short, the song ends with the dun 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 dun.
Yeah, Touch Me.
Okay, Touch Me. And so that's on, and I've been up since 2 a.m. I've been working. Finally came alive when the sun came up. Like whenever the sun came up, it was like, oh, I can breathe again.
Yeah.
It's like 6 a.m, 7 a.m. I'm alive again. And when that dun 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 happened, I went stronger than dirt, which is the actual lyric that Jim sings at the end.
Oh wow!
Which is the Mr. Clean or whatever the commercial was in the 60s. And Roger just sort of cocks his head and looks at me and goes, how'd you know that? I was like, I'm a Rust Belt kid. I grew up listening to records in my dad's basement. Like, grew up in Pennsylvania. You can't go outside 6 months of the year. I would be down in my dad's basement listening to his records. He's like, I got someone you need to meet. I was like, okay. And let's say this was like a Tuesday. So Thursday rolls around, and he's like, when you're done at 11, come up to the hallway. I got someone for you to meet. And, so keep in mind, I'm what? 23,
24, yeah.
23, long, scraggly hair, tall, tan, even though I work overnight. And I meet whom I'm assuming is the morning drive DJ of Aero 93. He's just like British or Australian guy. I can't quite read the accent. And Roger's standing between us like a triangle, like a power triangle. We're in this hallway, fluorescent lights. And this guy, he's like, so you're Matt. I'm not going to try to do his accent.
Yeah, don't.
But he's like, so you're Matt? I'm like, yeah. And I offer my hand. He's like, so Roger's saying you're interested in classic rock radio. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm steeped in it. Grew up with it. My dad was a DJ. My dad was Mad Mort.
I didn't know that.
He would do like roller derbies and
shit
and parties and shit like that. He was Mad Mort recording live.
Oh man,
so he was crazy. Race car driver too.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well,
my
classic rock's music that you fix your car to.
Well, and he's an auto mechanic.
Yeah,
there you go. My dad was the fucking definition of the Rust Belt. So this guy's like, so you're wanting to do classic rock radio? I'm like, sure. He goes, okay, I got a question for you. I'm like, hit me. I haven't slept in like 2 days. You know, we would do Metal Shop.
Yep, Monday.
On Monday night.
Then you'd go to work.
And I hadn't slept. Wasn't it Sunday night? Mm-mm. Okay, Monday night. So I would do like 36 hours in a row where we'd do Metal Shop, and then I go back to work. So this is like Thursday. I maybe slept like 16 hours in 4 days. And he's like, I got a question. I'm like, hit me. And he goes, who's the best dressed man in rock and roll? And without hesitating, eye-to-eye contact, I go, Robert Palmer.
There you go.
But he looks at me, and he squints, and he nods, and he walks away. And I look at Roger, and Roger looks at him, and I was like, was that the interview? And he shrugs like, I don't know. And I was like, well, let me know. And I never heard from them. But I will go down knowing that was the right fucking answer.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, what the fuck other answer would he want from me?
Yeah, unless you're going
if he's British.
Yeah.
And he goes, who's the best dressed man in rock and roll? Like, have you seen the Simply Irresistible video?
Yeah.
The guy's in a fucking tux.
Yeah, all the time. He's got two videos. He's in a tux.
Who does he want me to pick? Liberace?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know if he was gay or not.
Jeez.
Like, so, but I was like, that interview, I was like, that was a one question interview. Fucking nailed it. Probably felt intimidated. Didn't get the job.
So here we are. Thank God.
In the studio.
Yeah, I had some radio fails too, man.
You had a lot of radio successes.
Yeah, no.
What are you talking about? Howard Stern show?
Yeah,
give me a fucking break.
I messed up the Howard Stern show. One day. I got on the air one day.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I guess I had some success.
Yeah.
My mom was like, how's the internship going? I'm like, she's like, what'd you do today? I'm like, I had to go down to the fucking store, a fish market, and buy a 14-pound bluefish so Howard could spank a naked girl tied to a wheel with it. Yeah. I'm like, don't listen to the show today.
Yeah, that's expensible.
Yeah, that's like
supplies.
Yeah, supplies. I learned a lot about Hertzian waves that day.
Can I tell the folks listening about our relationship with your mother?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. So Greg and I had a very Ed Norton, Tyler Durden relationship, or like Ed Norton, Brad Pitt, Fight Club relationship with time. And so Kathy would call. Hey, Matt, how are you? Kathy Studley. Is Craig awake? Of course not. So do you mind if I just ask a few questions? Sure. Do you mind if I don't answer them? Truthfully. She's like, what's he been doing at night? Bartending. Oh, is that all? Uh-huh. Are you sure?
Oh, God, I didn't know this.
I'm like, well, Ma, the low jack I had on his ankle ran out of batteries, so I don't know. I don't have a camera in his room yet, so I don't know. And it would just be like, I would have 45-minute conversations with your mom.
Oh, my God.
While you were sleeping.
I had no idea.
And just be like, so what's the weather like? I'm like, it's fucking perfect. Oh, it's not here. I'm like, that's why we're not there, Ma.
Oh, my God, we're getting clobbered. The snow is coming down so hard. I had to have the neighbor come over and shovel out the door just to let the damn dog out.
There's 18 inches on the ground in Easter. How's things for you? My feet are sunburned from falling asleep on the balcony. Thanks. So that was the part one of the Greg and I having the Brad Pitt, Ed Norton relationship with Helen and Bonham Carter. But the best part was with the girls that would come in. So what I didn't tell Kathy was that, Greg would accidentally bring someone home and proceed to deliver the groceries until roughly 3 a.m. And then when she would come out at 8 a.m, I would proceed to make her coffee, make her breakfast, and psychoanalyze her, and then probably advise that she'd go back home. There was the one that was the best. I don't remember her name, but she was like cute, tall, blonde bob. She came out in like a white tank top, no bra, white like little loose running shorts. And she just kind of came and sat there at the stool. I was like, hey, want some coffee? She's like, sure. I'm like, I have some eggs here if you're hungry. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then I was just like talking to her and like, where are you from? Oh, Kansas City. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm living with Frasier. There's an exit interview.
There was an exit interview, like, because I just wanted her to leave so that we could play video games or something. So she'd just be like, oh, you guys just, you guys, like, your bathrooms are clean and you have live plants and like, and the couch is comfortable. It's like, yeah.
Not yours.
It's not yours. And then she was the one of all of them where it's like, I was just sort of like giving her the download of like, hey, you got to go. I don't think LA's the place for you. Better to be a big fish in a small pond than a small fish in a big pond.
Right.
And I'm just like, you're obviously attractive and talented, and I think you just should go home. And she sort of pushed herself up off the bar stool. We had the 2 bar stools at the counter. She pushed herself from the bar stool, came around, and she sort of like pushed her belly against me and like kissed my neck. And I just sort of put my finger on her lips. I was like, you're not going to find it here, hon. I was like, I thought I told you to go home.
Oh my God. That is amazing. I had no idea.
I'm like, we got work to do when he wakes up. So
yeah, we got to write.
Yeah, so you got to go.
Oh my God.
It was my fledgling psychotherapy masters.
Oh my God.
Amateur.
Well, it's last call, so let me give you a tip. When it's dick busy and there's a huge line in front of and behind you, don't order a fucking Sazerac or a Vieux Carré or anything with muddled shit, you inconsiderate dick. Just get a beer and wait for the pop to subside, and then you get your pretentious shit. It will die down. When the bar is mobbed, just wait. Everyone gets their drinks, and then they hit their paces, and those paces differ, and the crowd subsides. It's then that it's cool to order the obnoxious, labor-intensive, time-consuming bullshit you don't really like, but get to attempt to impress people. Beer and a shot are the watchword, folks. Folks, it's been a blast. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And a call to my fellow booze slingers. Send in your stories to cocktailsandwastednights@gmail.com. You can remain anonymous if you'd like. Thanks for listening, subscribing, downloading, and spreading the word. Don't be afraid to give me a good review, even if you're lying. It really does help build our community of barbarians. And check out my video. Just close it on YouTube. You will laugh, damn it. If you want to support the podcast, you can do that on Patreon. I don't have any extra shit there, but I'll happily accept tips. Worth a try. We'll see you next time on Behind Bars, Cocktails, and Wasted Nights. Cheers! Matt is on... Fuck. First, chill a Cooper martini glass with ice, water, and fuck. Shit. Time-consuming bullshit that you don't really like but attempt to get... Fuck.